Hello St George's, it's Mrs Bradbury here. This is my very first video newsletter, so I'd welcome any feedback or comments that you might have about it. The reason why we're doing video newsletters is because we want to make sure that the information that we share with you is easily accessible and quick to get to. With that in mind, we've decided that we want to try and slim down our communications with you, so we're not bombarding you with too much information at any one time. And for that reason, we're only going to be sending home letters on Mondays and Thursdays, because that ties in with the days that your children bring their book bags into school, or we send their book bags back with their new reading books. Obviously, things are changing quite quickly at the moment, both locally and nationally. So there may be occasions where we need to send out urgent messages, in which case we will make sure that a letter goes home with your child at the end of the school day, that letter is also available on our school website, and that we send you a text message link to that newsletter as well. So please be aware that if you get a text message link, it's because there's something urgent that we need to communicate with you. So here's a roundup of the news from St George's this week. We've had a really good start to term on lots and lots of levels. Your children are just the most amazing little people, and they've come back and they've taken on board all the new routines and the new arrangements, and last week they very quickly built up good relationships with their new class teachers, the new friends that they've got in their classes, and they really got their heads down and were really focused. So we've been really impressed with them. And you've clearly been great homeschool teachers, because we have seen children who are talking far more confidently than they were before lockdown, taking real pride in the presentation of their work and their handwriting, and children that have really surprised us with their maths knowledge as well. So I really appreciate all the support that you provided for your children during lockdown, and are continuing to provide as well. The new children in nursery and reception came for their stay and play sessions last week, which went really well, and the children enjoyed them. So our reception children are starting full time from today, and our nursery children are going to be attending for their normal morning, afternoon or full-time sessions from today as well. Talking of nursery, we have got some places in our nursery provision at the moment. So if you know anybody with a child of 3 years of age or 4 years of age, and they're looking for really good quality nursery provision, please do talk to them about what's on offer at St George's. If you go to our website, there's a flyer that explains all the good things about our nursery provision, and those good things include highly experienced staff, a really stimulating and engaging learning environment, close links with parents, because we value those from very earliest stages of a child's career at St George's, and our early years provision has got an Ofsted rating of securely good. If you do know anyone that might be interested, like I say, point them to our school website or ask them to give us a call, and we'll talk through the application process with them. Last week we noticed that there were a small number of children arriving at school in cars, and they clearly weren't in car seats or wearing seat belts. So this is just a reminder, particularly for families that are perhaps new to the UK, that in our country, if your child isn't in a proper car seat or wearing a seatbelt, there is a risk that there could be a fine of up to £500. So please do take the time to read the information that's linked from the newsletter on our website to find out what seating you should have in place for your child. And then also just want to flag up that if you are struggling with the staggered drop-off times, we do run breakfast club provision for children from reception up to year 4 from 8 o'clock every morning, Monday to Friday. The provisions run in the hall. It's run by Mrs. Machin and Mrs. Chadwick, who work across the school and know all the children in school really well. We seat the children on different tables according to which key stage they belong to make sure that they're not coming into contact with children in other parts of the school. And during breakfast club provision time, they get a choice of breakfast, which is cereal or toast or a bagel, and they also get activities. And at the end of breakfast club, Mrs. Machin and Mrs. Chadwick deliver them to their classes for the start of their school day. If you would like your child to attend breakfast club provision, it is important that you book it, and it can be booked via the parent pay system. Talking of parent pay, I know a lot of you have had problems with parent pay since the start of term. Mrs. Jukes has been working really hard to sort those problems out, and I think now we have got them sorted. Some of the common problems that people were having was that they'd forgotten what their login is. Now, your login is the email address that you first used to set up your account. Some people had forgotten their password. Now, under the login box, there's a reset password link. So if you click on that, and then you'll get an email and an opportunity to reset your password. Some people were using parent pay on their mobile phones and they couldn't see the part of the screen that they needed to book meals and things. So if you just scroll up, you'll get to the green boxes where you can book school meals or breakfast club places for your child. Something else that happened was that some parents of children in year 3 didn't realise that they now needed to book and pay for their child's school meals. So children in reception year 1 and year 2 are entitled to universal free school meals, which means that the government pays for them. Once they get to year 3, unless you're entitled to free school meals, you will need to pay for them. So if you want your child to continue having hot dinners, please make sure that you book and pay for them. Also, if you are entitled to free school meals, you do still need to book those. They're not automatically ordered for your child. We had lots of phone calls last week, which is completely understandable, about whether or not you should send your child to school. And of course, we're more than happy that you're checking with us and that you're giving us the opportunity to talk to you and help guide you through that process. In this week's newsletter, there is a flow chart here that will help you with your decision making. And basically it starts off by asking, pre-COVID, would you have kept your child at home? If the answer is yes, then that's exactly what you do. If the answer is no, you need to ask yourself, does your child have a high temperature or a new continuous cough, or has their sense of smell or taste changed? If the answer to any of those questions is yes, then you need to book a test for COVID-19, and you need to do that via the NHS COVID testing website. If you can't access it via there, then you need to ring 119. Now, the advantage of phoning 119 is that they have got translators, and so you will be able to talk to somebody in your home language, which will make the process easier. Once you've either booked your test and you've got a time and a date to go to a testing site, or you've got a home testing kit on its way, then you need to wait until you've got the test result before sending your child back to school. If the test result comes back as negative and your child is well enough to return to school, then they can return to school. If the test result comes back as positive, then you must ring and let us know so that we can make the staff and the parents of other children in your child's bubble aware of the situation. If your child doesn't have any COVID symptoms, but they're not well and you're still umming and erring as to whether they should come to school, you now need to ask yourself, have they got an underlying health condition? If they have, you need to contact your child's specialist or consultant to get further advice. If they haven't and they've just got a runny nose, or they're sneezing a lot, or they might be feeling a bit tired, then they can come to school as normal, okay? But by all means, carry on phoning us to check and make sure that you've got the most up-to-date guidance from us. And then finally this week, with this week's newsletter, is a list of diary dates. These are colour coded and they are on our school website. And basically anything in amber means that it's the start of a school holiday. Anything that's in green means that it's the start of school term time. And because the children have had so much time out of school, it's really important, probably more important than any other year, to make sure that you book any family holidays so that they coincide with the school holidays. Our children need to be in school as much as possible for their learning and for their friendships this year more than any other. And then finally, I just want to finish by saying that I feel really fortunate and privileged to be working with you as parents in the St George's community. Myself and my staff feel that you are very supportive, you cooperate with all the safety measures that we've put in place, and you give us really good feedback so that we can make sure we're giving you the information and the support and the advice that you need. So I just want to say a really big thank you for being a really, really good parental community. And I look forward to sharing my next video update with you next week. Thank you. Bye.